Oh, take number 3.
This is Idiocracy now.
Yeah, hey, no, let's keep it going. Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Carter.
And I'm Taylor.
And it's January 24th, 2018, podcast number 7, and this is a clusterfuck. No, seriously, this is Idiocracy now. Hello, my Americans.
We have Taylor the Wise with us this week.
She is awesome. Say hi.
Hi, the wise. I don't know.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Well, it'll subside soon. Tim's here with us too. Hi, Tim. Hi. Taylor stole this microphone, but he's on Google tonight.
Yep, Google duty.
So what have you been up to, Carter?
I have been a lot of working in the garden this week. It's getting to crunch time. All sorts of plants getting potted into other pots, and playing them music and all that jazz.
I did some plant moving around this week. I rented a U-Haul and I stuffed it full of weed plants and drove around the state that I live in, and just did a little bit of rearranging because I had some ones that were too big for where they were going to be at, and they just had to go to another facility.
Oh, that's generous of you.
Yeah, it was nice. What do you call that? High class problems?
Yeah, I guess so.
I was the coolest motherfucker up in the U-Haul place though. Like, what do you want? What do you want this for? I'm like, whatever. Like, how long you need it for? I'm like, some hours. I'm like, sir, we're gonna need we're gonna need to give you a confirmation code. I was like, no, just
thanks.
Show up. Yeah. I don't have a phone. You can write me a letter.
Shit, I don't think I can even rent vehicles due to my lack of credit.
Yeah, I probably can't either. So I just buy them.
You just bought a U-Haul. I'll just pay for the whole thing.
Well, you can get a box truck for really cheap on Craigslist and start a business.
Yeah,
like $4,000 or $5,000. You should get one, Taylor. Start a female moving company.
A movie company?
Moving. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to start a moving company.
Yeah, but like, what would you call that?
I'd make like a pet grooming place out of a box truck.
That's a great idea.
Like a moving thing.
What was that place called? Paws. It's like, anyway, they pulled up in a fucking van and they shaved your dog and washed him, put a handkerchief on him, charged you $50, and they were on to the next place.
Yeah.
It was
I
genius.
could do that for sure.
It was genius. So, what do you want to talk about this week? We got a female guest. We got to run some things by her. There's so many things I'm dying to know. I want to know how to hug people in public and in private. Do you hug in private anymore? Is that even possible?
Yeah. Taylor
do you
the Wise?
hug in private?
I don't know. I'm not going to anymore. I don't want to get arrested.
You should definitely hug in private.
All right,
I mean,
good.
especially somebody you're with and in relationships with. Family.
Yeah. My mom went in for the hug the other day.
Strangers.
I said, don't get too close,
nice
bitch.
Strangers.
I hug strangers. They're down for it. But I got some things. I got some things I want to talk about before I fucking lose this.
You got some things on your mind you gotta get off your chest.
Yeah, this is from the previous show, and I didn't bring it up because I'm an idiot. So Tim, play this Japan TV issues false missile alert days after Hawaii. And if you remember correctly,
I don't remember.
You don't
correctly.
Well, Hawaii just had that text message they sent out and sent everybody to the hills, crazy, like they thought Kim Jong-un was going to bomb them from North Korea.
Sure.
So now we got another, Japan gets this TV issues a false missile alert. And play it, Tim.
In fact, another false alarm associated with North Korea, and not just any Japanese broadcaster, but the main public TV channel network, the NHK. And it came across not just on iPhone or phone apps, but also on the internet website of the Japanese broadcaster. It happened just about 5 minutes before 7 in the morning today, and it read in part, North Korea appears to have launched a missile. The government urges people to take shelter inside buildings or underground. Now, 5 minutes later, The network went on air and online and corrected it and apologized for it. But again, you got to believe not before a few people in Japan were alarmed. There have, in fact, been government warnings in the past when North Korea has sent missiles either in the direction of or over Japan. No reason was given for today's.
All right, so you have this thing going on in Japan, the other thing going on in Hawaii, and before the podcast, you brought up an interesting point about what were you saying, Carter?
Oh, there was a tsunami warning in Alaska where they had some video that I saw on Press for Truth TV. They just showed some video of these police cars going down the road in the middle of the night, telling people with loudspeakers while there's the sirens going that you need to evacuate, get to higher ground. And then luckily there wasn't a tsunami, but they were telling people to wake up and leave their house, which I doubt that many actually did. But.
So I think it's, I'm just asking questions here. What if these are connected?
Well, I hate to bring it up all the time, but No Agenda did a really good analysis of that, the one in Hawaii anyway, and basically showed that it was kind of bullshit. The idea that it was a mistake that they issued the warning. It could have been a hack, maybe.
Definitely.
By some pranksters or by some other military.
But you don't want to admit that you got hacked, so you say it was a mistake on my part.
I guess so, because there's a company that's in charge of all that technology.
A private company?
A private company that
really.
As far as the one in Hawaii goes, if I remember right, there's a company that provides a service for the government, and they're supposed to have there's supposed to be a way to turn off that alert as well. They said, we pressed the wrong button, and then it took us 45 minutes to get the okay, or 38 minutes to get the okay to turn it off. But the Adam Curry on No Agenda showed that through he did a lot of research that I'm glad he does that kind of research, but he showed that there was basically a button to turn it off as fast as you could turn it on. Whoever turned it on could turn it off. And they claimed that they couldn't, that they had to go get special permission, and that took forever.
No, what my thesis is they want to see the reaction of the people, and they want to see what they'll do in a crisis situation.
Potentially. I mean, that's a great experiment for a government if that's who did it. But it's also, I could see some hacker group or something finding that vulnerability and saying, hey, look what we could do. Mm-hmm. We could set off an alarm on Hawaii and then just watch everybody go apeshit. Some people will just do that for kicks.
And it works with a fear narrative that they're trying to push. You always got to have a boogeyman, and you always got to be scared of something.
For sure.
Be American.
Would you guys, if that had happened and you were let's say you're at the beach or something and you heard all these alarms and shit going off, would you get freaked out?
It's
I'd be freaked out. I might believe it. Or halfway.
Halfway, yeah.
Enough to be oh shit.
I hate to say it. I'd be the guy calling bullshit.
I'd
be the guy at the Las Vegas shooting standing up going, fuck you. Fuck you. Could have died. Could have been now.
These bullets are fake bullets from the Illuminati.
Snipe. Oh shit. My money gun broke.
Dude, we can't have that.
No, I'll fix it. Taylor can fix it. She's an engineer.
Taylor the Wise.
We need to stop being
chauvinistic.
No, with that and rude. Because when we started this podcast, I interviewed you to see your likes and interests and stuff. So, what are some of your likes and interests, Taylor?
My likes and interests: fixing money shooters.
Yeah. What do you do with yourself?
Well, I work. I'm a waitress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just went back to school.
For what?
I have no idea.
Not yet?
Nope.
That one?
I'm gonna get my associates and hopefully take it from there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Get a better job?
Yeah.
What classes are you taking right now?
I'm taking a sociology class, which is really interesting right now, and composition. And I haven't written a paper in 4 years.
Wow.
So, yeah. I'm a little nervous about that.
I haven't written a paper in a long time. Way over 4 years.
A lot of people have to take that class twice because it's a tough one.
I've written on paper. sense. Yeah.
Yeah, look, this is how I write now. I've taken the class.
Yeah.
Scribble a bunch of shit on blank paper. That's the way I
I
go.
always feel like I'm doing something smart when I'm getting ready for the show and typing on my computer here, my laptop. Yeah, I'm doing stuff right
Doing
now.
some work.
I do call this work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I got a show to build.
My typing skills have gone up dramatically since we started this.
So if mine, I can now type without looking at my keyboard for the first time.
I can never do that.
With minimal I tend to fuck up any word over 7 characters. I'm backspacing, and I don't know. Like if I misspell the first letter of a word, do I delete everything? And
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what people do. But I guess you could use the arrows. And that would be, God, Tim, you're saving the day, man. So we got this, the Japan shit that's out of the way. Another clip that I seen, it was on trending. It was 32 on trending with 6. Oh wait, got going off on a tangent.
Are we gonna leave the volcano? Is that what you're?
Fucking volcano!
Let's go into something much more comfortable. Like
Yeah, I want
Chinese surveillance system.
Yeah, we were talking about Japan, but like right now, I'm going to travel to China.
Ah, dude, it stinks here.
Fuck yeah. People are so
It
short.
smells like farts.
I can't wait to wipe my ass with my hand. Is that there?
They don't do that.
They don't do that there?
They don't use toilet paper though. Actually, come to think of it.
What do they do?
Um,
Wipe their ass with their hand. And wash their
shit, dude,
hand.
I don't know. I should know. I've been there.
Timmy,
and they're like,
Google how to wipe your ass in China.
Maybe like leaves or something.
Yeah, please Google
leaves
that.
Or plants.
Well, the problem is their plumbing systems are smaller pipes than ours in the United States, so you can't really use much toilet paper. Otherwise, everything gets clogged to hell.
Well, I went to South America and Brazil, actually, and Argentina. You threw your toilet paper in the trash.
Oh, that's what you do. Yeah, you throw it in the trash, and it like all
Most
this
of these
shit
things
paper
like
sits
that.
right next to you. Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, it's weird. It was bizarre.
That's disgusting.
It's really gross.
And that's, it's hard to get me out of the country because of that. It's like, like when I go camping, I'm like, how's the bathroom situation? But I guess now, last year, I got my bucket system. I pour water in a bucket, then I poop in it, and then I just throw it in the woods as far as I can. It slides right out there clean. Slides out clean.
You're not supposed to do that, but more power to you, I
Well,
guess.
I am supposed to do it because it's a Home Depot bucket, and on the side it says, "Let's do this." And it's orange, so I can always find it.
You're supposed to bury it like 8 inches underground. Or
I don't
something.
understand why.
Just so people don't step in this shit.
Well, it's deep in the woods.
Yeah, people walk in there to take a shit.
Our find wood. Probably.
I skip the bucket. I just go straight to the woods.
Yeah.
Do you bury it?
No.
Like with leaves. Well, I usually put it, I usually pick a spot away from trails and where I don't think people would be
off the
walking.
beaten path.
I guess it depends. Yeah.
My dog shits, I'm going to. It's whatever.
Yeah, I would just think it was somebody else's, like something else's shit. I wouldn't be like, oh, that's human shit.
I would just think it's like dog shit or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that shit. I'm not gonna walk.
I'm all
walk
for
in it.
I'm all for throwing random turds in the woods. I think they are.
You go the extra mile.
I think
with the
they're
bucket, though.
biodegradable. I'm pretty sure they're biodegradable.
Apparently, you guys have never stepped in human shit before.
Oh, I'm
Have
probably
you?
No, I don't think so. I almost have. In China, actually.
in fucking China.
Where they let people shit in the
so,
street.
So what's behind us is the Chinese street surveillance, and it's fucked up.
How come they're not recognizing our faces?
Oh.
Maybe they don't have us on file.
Because we're not Chinese. They can't be like, their eyes are too round. What are they? Simpsons? They think we're the Simpsons. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this. The next clip, Tim, is about this Chinese surveillance. Go ahead and play it,
up
please.
to 35 miles an hour under certain conditions.
While I roll this joint.
That's the wrong one. Yep. China is developing surveillance cameras that can automatically identify you. And it's fucking terrifying.
It's like a video game.
Adults, pants, male, upper garment gray, lower garment gray. Chinese tech companies are working with the government, which is fucking terrifying. The country's surveillance network is made up of tens of millions of cameras, which is fucking terrifying. First of all, you need to resolve where the face is in a scene or in an image. We need to locate the key points on the face. I should talk Chinese. We need to locate the edges of the eyes. No, okay. The tip of the nose and the edge of the mouth. We need to go into the database and compare faces. Oy. Shanghai police are already using the database to publicly shame people who break the traffic rules. This bus stop has a screen showing the offenders.
I like that.
The system can identify someone from far away based on the way they walk, which is fucking terrifying. The goal is to detect suspicious behaviors in order to prevent crimes.
我认为呢，就是说人们在生活当中呢
Privacy is an
既有
issue.
安全的问题，也有隐私的问题。但是当两者产生矛盾的时候呢，对于中国人来说，可能更侧重于安全。因为你没有了安全的。
So they're choosing safety over privacy, basically.
Are they really choosing?
No, they're not. And they deserve neither. They should fight back. There's enough of them.
That would be incredible. There's definitely enough of them. They're so terrified of the government, though, in general.
Mm-hmm.
But there's places though that don't even like they're in China, but they don't like the Chinese government, and the government leaves them alone because they're afraid of rebellions. Once you get further out into the countryside, they can have more than one kid and stuff like that.
Well, that's pretty cool, I guess.
The president was in Scotland.
Whoa! You rolling a weed over there, Carter?
I'm trying to roll a joint. I'm not very good at rolling joints because I'm kind of a bowl man.
You're gonna get super high.
Or a vape pen man.
You want some hash?
No, this will be fine.
I have a rig. We can load up the rig right now. I have plenty of wax.
No, I'm good on the wax.
Intermission. Oh yeah, it is. It is.
If you guys want to help yourselves, that'd be fine for the show.
We're gonna go through a couple more clips. I'm gonna smoke this blunt, and then I think we'll put the rabbits in the background having sex, and we'll take a bong rip. Yeah.
Sure. Like we'll just have them.
Porn. And by the way, these bunnies are consenting adult bunnies of age. The female is mildly feminist, and the male is questionably gay. But
their bodies seem to be identical to me.
Yeah, yep. The way they should be. And they can both lift the same amount of weight. They're equally as smart, and they can both have babies out of their butts. That's how that happens.
Rabbits.
They hatch Easter eggs.
They hatch Easter eggs out of their butts.
Should we move on to like more clips? There's about 1 million clips here. This is gonna be a longer show.
32 on trending. Thousands rally for Women's March. Oh, speaking of that, before we play the clip.
Yeah, we have an expert here.
Taylor, you were at a Women's March in the capital of Michigan.
I was.
Can you tell us about that?
There were a lot of people there. There was somebody dressed as Satan, which I thought was pretty funny. Yeah, there was a lot of people, a lot of women, and also a lot of men.
In fact, send me that picture, and I'll put it up on our Twitter. Not right now, but what was there? People speaking there?
Yeah.
Like what were they saying? What was
Fuck Trump.
A lot of fuck.
Yeah,
Trump.
Get out of my pussy.
Trump. Yeah, for sure. A lot of that. They started talking about guns in our schools and stuff. I left about halfway through though.
Did they want this person saying this? Do they want guns in the schools?
No, they do not.
They don't want guns.
No.
Like not even police officers protecting the children? It's just like nothing.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
What was Satan doing there?
He was just standing there with a sign.
I want your soul.
Yeah. Says vote GOP with swastikas and thanking the cabinet members. He couldn't do it without them. Stuff like that. It was pretty interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was my first rally.
It's nice for Satan to attend a women's rally.
Well,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's hard to pick out.
I don't know, especially with
that's
like,
my Aunt Cindy. That bitch is crazy. Okay, so with this thing, I found it on trending. It was number 32 with 6,000 views, which is like the lowest. And why is that on trending? I don't know. So it feels like it was pushed on us a little bit, like they definitely want us to see it. So I'm gonna go ahead.
I think there's something to that trending thing that you mentioned a couple times.
They choose. So is this the right one? Yeah. Here we go.
In the White House on Saturday, monitoring this crisis right outside and across the country, protest marches.
Celebrities, politicians joining the many women's marches. ABC's Eva Pilgrim joins us in studio. Eva, what did you see at the march here in New York?
Well, there were a lot of people here in New York, and this isn't just a New York thing or a U.S. thing. There were over 250 marches expected this weekend. Organizers dubbing it hashtag Weekend of Women. Across the country, huge crowds, hundreds of thousands packing in, calling for change. From Philadelphia to San Francisco, Dallas to Toronto, almost 200,000 people in New York alone. Stretching for as far as the eye can see, people lined up to march for blocks here in New York City. This year's march falling on the one-year anniversary of President Trump's inauguration. The president tweeting about his success. Celebrate the historic milestones and unprecedented economic success and wealth creation that has...
All right, sorry, I paused it real quick. With this tweet, they only highlight, I just want to point this out, they only highlight when he's talking about himself, but in the last sentence, he says something about females to his credit, and they do not mention it at all. Lowest female unemployment rate in 18 years.
They also don't mention the start where he says, a perfect day for all women to march. Get out there now to celebrate.
Yeah,
this,
so
blah, blah, blah.
so they leave everything out, and they're like, and he didn't even say anything about these women.
has taken place.
Yeah, just marching for his future, really.
Some protesting the president's policies. Others joining the growing Me Too movement and Time's Up campaign as more women come forward, breaking their silence on sexual harassment and assault. In LA, celebrities turning out in force. Natalie Portman opening up about her own experience at just 13 years old.
From small comments about my body to more threatening, deliberate statements serve to control my behavior through an environment of sexual terrorism.
And Scarlett Johansson taking aim at actor James Franco, who recently denied allegations of sexual misconduct. Franco wearing a Time's Up pin at the Golden Globes.
He's so handsome.
How could a person publicly stand by an organization that helps to provide support for victims of sexual assault while privately preying on people who have no power? I want my pin back, by the way.
Viola Davis calling for all Americans to stand up for each other.
Your job as an American citizen is not just to fight for your rights. It's to fight for the right of every individual.
And more marches are planned for today, including a Power to the Polls march. That's going to happen in Las Vegas.
But you did see some Trump supporters out.
Power to the polls. Just saying, who writes
A handful of Trump supporters. So a lot of the people who were here were marching as part of that Me Too movement, that campaign that has started with women. Those two things don't exist opposite of each other
Not
all the
mutually
time.
exclusive.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. George, stop with us.
I can't believe we missed the women's march. I didn't know it was going on, I guess.
Oh, really? I thought you would have been there.
I would have brought my pussy hat. Can I borrow this?
Yeah.
I was thinking about, I wrote this down, and it's just some thoughts I have. I tip women way more than I tip men. Should I? I guess it'd be a question for you as a woman. should I tip women more than I tip men? Or is that weird?
I don't know. I mean, how many males serve you?
Not that many.
You know what I mean? Why don't you tip them equally?
It's because you like women better?
I guess I just try to
help?
Be more helpful to women. Because I look at women like my mothers and sisters, and I don't know. I guess it would be like a fuck.
Yeah.
It's stomping me.
I can tell you why I do it.
Why do you do it?
And I've never had sisters or anything. I think it's like my way of like slightly hitting on them sometimes. Be like, hey, I mean, or just like appreciating them more than I would a dude. I don't know. There's something about a dude like coming to the table and serving me that is not as enjoyable for me.
Right,
I really would rather have a woman.
Male servers probably get to more by females than they do
I guess so.
female servers. I'm sure that happens.
Because my girlfriend
It's like
is
the same thing. Yeah,
always-
exactly like what you're talking about.
Girls are critical of other women.
No.
Like I've always been told, like girls don't dress up for the men; they dress up for the other women. You know, like oh, she's gonna be wearing this, so I gotta come stunting.
I know some women that like get jealous very easily, so like they hate the waitresses. Like,
So all right, so I tip women more than men, and the reason why I do that is because okay, I'll just say it. What if I think it's harder for women to make money? What if I think that?
I mean, you're not wrong in thinking that.
And I don't tip uglier women any less.
I try to tip people based on their performance. And I honestly don't have male servers a lot. And I work with one, and I don't really like him. No, he's not gay. But I don't like him because he's a male server, obviously. I don't like him because of who he is.
Yeah.
I just don't like him.
I used to work.
What's his name? Where does he work?
I used to work at a place that this Lebanese family owned, and there was an ex-girlfriend of mine. She ended up being an ex-girlfriend. But when she just came there, she was stunningly beautiful, and she would make $400 a night in tips. And I was working in the kitchen, making all the food that she was serving, and I would probably, get away with $40-50 for the night. And I was so fucking jealous. Like, this is bullshit. Like, all the waitresses come back, they count all their money, and they're making way more than me. I'm like, man, I just want to be a waitress.
I remember
I want to be a waitress so bad.
Being a dishwasher, making $8 an hour, and then at the end of the night, all the waitresses and their black pants would just stack up the cash.
Yeah, come back and count it all, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I would never be a cook or a dishwasher. Probably.
Why?
I don't know.
That's from Mexicans.
It's not for Mexicans.
Javier, dishes.
Shut up. I don't know. To each his own, but if I'm going to work in a restaurant, I'm going to make more than minimum wage for washing dishes. But I'm a woman, so maybe it's easier for women to be servers than men.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why.
I'm no good at it. I can't remember an order to save my life.
If I were to change my behavior, would I tip men as much as I tip women, or would I tip women as much as I tip men?
What do you say?
If I were to change my behavior,
right,
should I tip women as much as I tip men, or should I tip men as much as I tip women? Because if I think if I'm coming from a point of trying to in a third party or second party provide for the waitress, so she can pay her bills or do whatever she wants. Should I take that feeling away that I should do that for a woman and tip her just how much I would tip a man, just the standard 10%?
I would go the other direction, tip a man more, just to be
smack him on his ass.
If your change is meant to be like a better person change,
Right. Or you could just,
Carter, you're costing me money, man.
Or
you're
you could
fucking costing me money, and he's calling me gay when I'm walking around. I think that dude wants to suck my dick. He gave me a Taylor's, Taylor, because I go where Taylor works, and I get breakfast, and I tip 20 to, like, if I'm doing real good that week, I'll put 40 down, and I'll run out the door. So she'll be like, Chris, he's not supposed to do this.
Honestly, I think you should keep doing what you're doing, but.
I think you should tip on performance, because that's what it is. I mean, if you like connect with your server, male or female, and you're like having a good time, and she did her job well, or he did, that's what you should be tipping on, not the fact that you want to help them pay their bills. They probably got like their bills covered.
Or you could ask them, hey, do you have a kid?
Yeah, that too.
What kind of car do you drive?
I was at a strip club about 5 years ago. And I got a dance, and for the whole dance, I was wondering the ins and outs of the money scheme. I was like, okay, so you get 25 for this. What do you keep? She's like, I keep $8. And I was like, $8?
Out of 25?
Out of 25. The house gets the rest. I'm like, she's just sitting on my lap. We're talking business. I'm like, wow, $8. So that's why you ask people for tips all the time, because you get to keep those tips too. Like, yeah, so, all right, cool.
Do you think male strippers or female strippers make more money?
Ooh, male, by far.
You think so?
Well, I don't know. It depends. There's different calibers of strippers.
Mm-hmm.
So at the
high
top,
class to high class.
The top tier, females are making far more than the men.
Taylor the Wise recommended that we go visit a male strip club. To do the broadcast?
I've never been. Have you?
No.
Yeah.
Not to a male one. I don't think.
That'd be
I'd probably get confused as one of the workers. Like, hey, we need water. Like, I'd be like the slightly too fat guy, but like, you're not a dancer, but you probably do work here, so I'm gonna need a water.
You could pass as a bouncer.
Mm-hmm.
I can do.
Just tell me no karate.
Wait till I do the penis windmill.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that graphic would be too expensive to throw up.
The penis windmill? I'll do it for free. It's free.
Okay, we have a lot more furry videos to come out, as long as penis windmill videos. You guys just stay tuned.
All right. Yeah. So speaking of waitresses, there was a clip here. I gotta find it. Women groped at men-only charity gala in London, and I got some things I want to ask Miss Taylor about this thing. So here we go.
An exclusive charity evening in one of London's smartest hotels. It's called the President's Club. So exclusive that the only guests are men. Some of Britain's leading bankers, businessmen, property developers. Whilst the only women, like the undercover reporter who took these pictures, are hostesses, told to wear sexy clothes, forced to sign a document saying they won't talk about what happened here. One of the auction prizes, plastic surgery to make, we're told, your wife more attractive.
Right.
Other prizes, tea.
Before I forget, he said forced to wear sexy clothes and made to sign a document, like a non-disclosure document. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can just stop the clip right here. Would you sign up for something like that?
No.
So why do we feel bad for these women?
I don't know. People come from like all types of backgrounds, and they could have been like fucked from the start, I mean, they could have been pimped out and been in a worse situation before, and this was like their way out. I mean, I don't know.
They've kind of made it if they're at this thing, but
well, right. I mean, sex has been a business for like a long time, and there's always been people who do
it,
willingly or unwillingly.
The oldest profession.
Yeah, I know. Well,
what about their wives? Are their wives attending or no?
I'm sure.
No, it's all men.
It's an exclusive
club and
one-off opportunity.
Yeah. And they get like prizes like plastic surgery for their wives. Like that's one of the
That's
prizes.
awful.
Yeah,
That's awful.
Listen to it.
With the Governor of the Bank of England, lunch with the Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson. The women are repeatedly groped, harassed, invited to bedrooms upstairs.
The men were initially quite decorous, and things very quickly took a turn for the worse. Some of the behaviour was pretty shocking and depressing.
Politicians from all parties say they're outraged.
Women have the right to feel safe wherever they work, and allegations of this type of behaviour are completely unacceptable.
Awkward then that a government minister attended the evening. He says he left early, he was appalled by the behaviour, and no, he doesn't plan to resign. A leading hospital that received some of the $3 million raised by the President's Club has returned the money. And then there's the hotel, the Dorchester, where the event took place. Beloved by royalty and movie stars. It says it's deeply concerned at the allegations. An investigation is underway. Barnaby Phillips, Al Jazeera, London.
If a rapist wants to give me money, I'll take it. It's better in my pocket than in theirs. Better in the hospital's pocket than in theirs.
So I'm a little confused. Those women weren't prostitutes. They're just there to like serve drinks or something. Or?
They were there to serve drinks, and they signed a non-disclosure act, and they were told that they had to wear sexy clothing.
Yeah, I think it is what it seems like. Just a bunch of old.
I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
Bunch
I
of old
wouldn't
creepy
put
dudes.
myself in that situation.
Yeah.
Some people don't. I don't know. Some people.
What if they were like,
choice.
"You're gonna make $5,000 tonight"? You know, I don't know.
No, I mean.
Oh shit! Then grab my ass.
Problem is, a lot of those people don't actually tip very well. They're like so rich they are above tipping for some reason.
I've seen an old man bite a huge tit through the shirt. She walks up. She goes, "What can I get you tonight?" He goes, "Milk." And then he goes, "Ah!"
Holy
bit her on the
shit.
tit. Gave her $100 bill. She laughed it off. And then his joke after that, he goes, "Women like me because of my checks appeal."
Is this at the strip club or at?
No, this was at the restaurant that I worked at.
Wow, like back in the 80s?
No, 2000.
You can't do that shit.
Yeah, 2000s, man. It did that shit. She's like, "Oh, Max, he's crazy." He had this funny laugh. He goes,
Sounds like a real winner. And then Rachel Maddow's penis pops in the scene somehow.
Oh, yeah. Taylor, that's a noise for Rachel Maddow's penis. All right, so keep on this. We're going to go to the William H. Macy clip. And don't worry, folks. He hasn't been accused of any fingering, flashing, fornicating, nothing like that. He's got some magical blue eyes, too. Go ahead.
In the
Play it.
era of #MeToo and Time Out and all that, what would you, as a seasoned male actor, tell the younger guys coming up in the business about how to control themselves or how to behave?
That's a really, really, really complicated question because on one hand, in what we do for a living, we've got to be free to speak the unspeakable and try things. So I hope it doesn't throw a wet blanket on things, and I don't believe it will because half the business is women and they're smart and they're hip.
Look at his body language.
I have 2 daughters. I feel girls are ascendant, and I'm thrilled for them.
He looks up when he says
It's a good time to be a girl. And I'm proud of this business because such things as safety in the workplace, I think that's done. We're not going back. It's changed. It changed in an instant, and it's not going back. When it comes to equality in pay, it's inevitable, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen quickly. And my hat's off to our business. I work for John Wells, and he's been proactive in making our cast and crew and the writer's room look like America. He's been proactive about that for a long time. We have I work for a lot of women. I always have. Perhaps it's the projects I choose, but it's all good. It's hard to be a man these days. I think a lot of us feel like we're under attack.
I can't believe
and
you
that
said
we need
that.
to apologize. And perhaps we do, and perhaps we are. It's, but we'll keep talking. And to repeat, I'm blessed that I'm in this business. We had a meeting. A bunch of guys got together under the auspices of Time's Up, and that's good for men. Men don't talk enough. Men don't talk to other men. And we talked. What the hell, a little bit can't hurt you.
Me and you talk, Carter.
Yeah, what's up, Chris?
Hey.
Hey, dude.
And we talked about the Me Too movement. So I'm so glad that he didn't grab anybody's tits. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you had me worried there. He's a likable guy.
Yeah.
That is unusual for people to speak their mind like that in Hollywood, on camera, like in that kind of environment there. But I think he can do it because he's a funny-looking, nice guy.
All right, let's teleport.
Where are we going?
Let's go to our new studio.
Oh, the new studio?
Yeah. Taylor, you want to snap your finger?
This place is fucking huge!
Good. I'm so glad we're out of fucking China, where they wipe their ass with toilet paper and throw it in the bin.
They do that a lot.
There's flies in the trash again, Mom. Tiger Mom.
They have people whose jobs is to go around to restaurants and manually kill the flies. So like some guy comes in every day and just like chases them all down and just gets them all.
That's pretty cool.
And then they don't even kill them because
with chopsticks.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oi!" every time he does it. Oi! Fly! Oi! That's what he does. Sorry, that's racist.
I'm kind of worried if I smoke this whole joint, I'm going to look up at the end of this and it will have not recorded or something. I'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, just keep going, man. We're doing just fine.
I'm trying.
So now we're at the new studio. There's a lady named Ashley Banfield.
What's up, Ashley?
We want to start this clip at a minute 21. It's worth going on YouTube and watching the whole thing, but there's just several spots in this that I just want to. I want people to hear, I guess, and this applies to a lot of women that are coming out. I'm all for people not getting raped.
#MeTooReport.
Let me be completely clear. If you were sexually assaulted, you should go to the police right now. If you were sexually harassed and your bad date because of his actions mitigated your ability to do your job, you should definitely speak up and loud. Because that's happened to me too, and it stinks. But if you just had an unpleasant sexual experience, you should have gone home. Maybe just go ahead, tell your friends to avoid this guy, he's gross. Go ahead, tell the date himself he's gross, that he is not the lover that he thinks he is. And without question, don't go on a second date with him. Certainly do not marry a guy like that. But what you have done, in my opinion, is appalling. You went to the press with the...
So, yeah, that applies to a lot of people. If you read each, like, basically all of James Franco's accusers would fall under that statement right there, having a bad date. They're like,
yeah, I've heard that.
Well, like some of them, they're like, yeah, I sucked his dick. And I didn't like it. I felt pressured. I was like, well, why'd you suck his dick? You can say no, but he was I don't know.
Which one is that?
actresses, I don't know. They put they're a different breed of people, I think. I mean, it's a different kind of fucking job.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to date one. At least that's what I hear.
I don't know.
It's different. I think what this lady's saying is some people But when you take it to the press, then you're really fucking somebody's life. Especially if it was about a James Franco type incident.
Yeah, but he's white, so I think he holds less weight in CNN's eyes. But I can't believe this bitch went off like this, honestly. And this last little bit at the end, I liked a little. Sorry.
And I hope the next time you go on a bad date, you stand up sooner, you smooth out your dress, and you bloody well leave. Because the only sentence that a guy like that deserves is a bad case of blue balls, not a Hollywood blackball.
I have heard this somewhere.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah. Like we were talking earlier, Louis C.K. and that girl, she said that it destroyed her comedy career, but like you should have just made your career off of that.
Yeah.
You know, like clap back to Louis C.K. and built something off of it. I mean,
threw together a set.
There we go. Yeah.
Right?
that's a good solid 25 minutes of comedy right
make
there.
a whole bunch of money off of it.
I mean,
thanks, Louis.
Dave Chappelle just did a special where he talked about Louis C.K.'s dick for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it
I
was
saw that.
Comedy gold.
I think it depends. It depends on what actually went down. You know,
Yeah.
that's what it all depends on. It doesn't matter who it is hardly, but it's just if shit's fucked up, then that you should talk about it more. And if it was just whatever, then
I think girls need to
tell a
start
joke.
Kicking dudes in the balls.
I think so too. I mean, I do.
You pull your dick out without like, I don't know. You know when shit's not right. You know when you're taking a chance. And I hate to say it, but here it goes.
I feel like I should have a button for this.
I've been in a room one time and a female has left the room and I was excited and I pulled myself out and she came in the room and she goes, "You're fucking crazy." And we had a great time after that. I mean, that could have went horribly wrong.
She's a great comedian these days.
She could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my
it's all situational.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it is. I think most women experience
I'm glad you told that story,
harassment. Yeah.
Well, there's been plenty of times where it's been the other way around. I went over to a woman's house or something like that, and they were wearing lingerie. You know, and I could have easily been like, "I'm fucking offended. You're ruining my career." Like
your career?
Yeah. Well, that's what she said. It's
okay.
Yeah. Don't laugh at me because I'm a white man. I'm sensitive.
No, I'm laughing because your career has nothing to do with it.
Whenever you talk to me, you think of me as a black woman.
You're ruining my job as a manager at a car wash.
I can't believe you would stand there with your beautiful breasts. No, I wouldn't say beautiful. I'd be like, this is wrong. You can't do this.
Yeah, that's never happened to me.
Yeah.
That's what you say or said?
I don't know. No, that's not what I
yeah.
said. Like, I was always like, hey.
Obviously.
It was always a good time.
That's different, though.
It's different when it's a good time. But how do you...
It's different when it's a good time.
When do you know, like, it's not a good time?
I feel like you know when it's not a good time.
A lot of these things are happening to men that are past their prime a little bit. And, you know, before where they could have done this and got away with it, and they probably have a million times. And, you know, the result...
They probably have a million times. They probably started.
Think about how many times James Franco has pulled himself out, and the female next to him had been like,
"Cool,
fuck yeah."
I'm sure that's happened too. I mean, definitely.
That's probably what he's used to.
James Franco probably gets his dick so much. He probably has scrunchies in his pocket. Like, no, you need one. I got one.
I was slightly offended once. I was.
Isn't that funny? I think that's funny.
It was like late at night, after the bars closed, and this woman came up and started talking to me. She thought it was somebody else, and then she opened up her like robe she was wearing and gave me a giant naked hug, like right on the street.
Whoa.
And I was completely shocked and surprised. But I also felt a little bit assaulted, but it was okay. It was all right. And then I told her my name was somebody else, and she thought she was hugging somebody else.
All right, let's try to.
She was super wasted.
This is the last Me Too clip. So hit that jingle one more time, will you, Carter? Before you play that too.
Hashtag MeToo report.
She grabbed my dick.
All right.
Well, when I was trying to think how I should begin this talk, it occurred to me that the safe way to begin would be to affirm that I'm opposed to sexual assault and sexual harassment. Get that out of the way.
Me too.
But I actually feel that I can't say that because I don't know what the terms mean anymore. They've been stretched to such an extent by the plethora of self-proclaimed victims who've been coming forward of late. And I feel that I don't want to lend even momentary lip service to what seems to me a truly bizarre social trend that doesn't distinguish between the innocuous and the criminal. And I especially don't want to lend support to a movement symbolized for me in the Me Too hashtag, but it's been going on for much longer, for years now, that operates on the assumption that a man is likely guilty if a woman says that he is. We're at a remarkable moment in our history in which the contradictions of feminist ideology, rather than causing the movement to lose momentum, actually seem to be causing it to gain momentum, and in which contempt for men has become so normalized that sweeping condemnations of all men are now perfectly acceptable in our public discourse. The contradiction in feminist ideology that I'm thinking of that's most striking is the assertion that women are fully as capable as men to exercise their talents in the public sphere, and that anyone who says otherwise is exhibiting the rankest bigotry and the most vile misogyny. We have that on the one hand, that assertion, coupled with displays by women of the exact opposite of a Victorian era fragility of epic proportions. Recently in Canadian politics, we have had a so-called sexual harassment scandal in which a Manitoba MP, James Bazan, had to undergo an investigation by the Chief Human Resources Officer for the Canadian House of Commons, had to complete sensitivity training, and had to apologize repeatedly, both privately and publicly, to the Quebec MP, Sherry Romanado. Romanado is the parliamentary secretary to the Veterans Affairs Minister in the Liberal government.
It's almost over.
What did James Bazan do that was so terrible? According to the reports I read, he made one or possibly two off-color jokes 7 months ago. At a May 2nd fundraiser for Canadian veterans and first responders that both Bazan and Romanado attended, the two MPs were posing for a picture with a third person, and Bazan joked inappropriately, "This isn't my idea of a threesome." According to Romanado, he may also have said something else about making a sandwich with someone in the middle, but I don't know whether that was sexual in any way. According to Romanado, who's still tearful about the incident 7 months later, the remark was, quote, unwanted, quote, inappropriate, and, quote, humiliating.
Tearful?
And she told the House of Commons that the comments were sexual in nature and, quote, have caused me great stress and have negatively affected my work environment. She later commented that, quote, people are afraid to live what I've had to live through.
Yeah, especially people that are held down and fucked. Sorry.
So that's not what happened here.
But. No, but like a comment made to her during a picture. She's tearful for months and scared to go to work.
Yeah.
And people
that's
are
pretty extreme.
People are.
It is extreme. There's extremists of like every nature.
And
And focusing on only the extremists is like, you're not gonna get change or make any progress.
No.
Because obviously that's ridiculous. People say stuff to me every day.
Yeah. Oh, I
Every
can.
day.
I can't imagine being a pretty
I wore
girl.
lipstick to work, and one of the regulars said I look like a hooker. He said, "Oh,
What?
you look like a hooker today." Yeah, but that
A
didn't
male?
make me. Yeah, fuck
What,
yeah,
what did
male.
you say that?
A strange old man.
I just walked away.
Didn't you say the Amish guys hit on you too?
Oh yeah, yeah. The Amish guys hit on me.
I'd like to hear about that. How'd that go? Did they like wink at you and do like
Oh my
old timey
God.
things?
Old timey.
Clip,
I
clop,
don't
clip,
know.
clop,
They're
clip, clop.
pretty progressive.
Take a look
They're
at my
pretty
horse
progressive with
outside.
that.
It's got
they-
1 horsepower.
Sorry. Interrupt.
Yeah,
We're
no,
interrupting.
no,
We're
it's crazy.
mansplaining
It's
your story
crazy.
for you.
I just wasn't expecting it from the Amish. Yeah, like one guy was coming in, he wasn't there one day, and they said, "Oh yeah, he went to jail last night because he was sniffing bike seats."
What?
Obviously, he didn't go to jail for that. He just wasn't there. But like, what? Why would you say that ever? Yeah. So that was just.
rude. That's why we
Yeah,
can't
it's crazy. Like they mentioned pinching my butt, I think one time, and that made me really uncomfortable. That made me, I didn't like that one. I usually just kind of walk away. I usually walk away. I don't know. I don't ever really like say fuck you. Like I feel like I definitely have the right, but I usually just let it go. Just like complain about it for a second, just be like, well, whatever.
It's a weird situation because if you did play along, you might get a bigger tip.
I mean, if
But if you want
that's-
to, but if you want to
what
play
you
along,
want,
yeah,
that's
if you
what
want to play
want.
along like that, why not just go to the
Or
strip club?
maybe some people like play along just because that's more comfortable than saying fuck you
Yeah.
or walking away.
I was watching a Jordan Peterson interview, and he says that the female sex is genuinely more agreeable than the male counterparts. So you just try to like roll with the punches because it's in your favor to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, it takes the stress. Like,
another
off of
thing,
you.
he used that same thing to talk about the pay gap. And men tend to be more disagreeable, so they argue with their bosses for raises. And he attributed that characteristic to that.
I think it'd be helpful if it was like socially acceptable for you to be like as a waitress working at a company, say when the guy says, "Hey, your lipstick looks like a whore" or whatever,
Right.
that you could just be like, "Fuck you, get out of here."
I know.
You know?
That's
And
ideal.
if your boss was like, "Yeah, fuck him, get him out of here."
Next time somebody does that, be like, "Oh, what? Yeah, we need 2 eggs over here for Little Dick Ted. Little Dick Ted over here needs 2 eggs.
I mean,
Extra spit.
Extra spit and Little Dick's eggs over here."
maybe there will come a day where I get to do that. I hope not. I hope I don't like. Yeah, shit's crazy. I mean, it really is. I'm not like totally agreeing with, you know, everybody for calling people out and destroying careers for like a threesome joke.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking retarded. I could like blackmail you maybe and get some money, but I don't know. Like, it just. I mean, I've been assaulted before in my life, and I haven't put it on blast. You know, I haven't like participated in the public.
Yeah.
You know, like let me just tell everybody my story, and that's my choice.
Yeah, it's on
you
the
know.
individual person.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't.
I liked the sandwich thing they mentioned there. She was like, if that is a sexual thing, like, what? You think he just like sandwiches? And he's like, I'm gonna make a sandwich joke because
Yeah, because I'm hungry.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah,
I can find humor in even the most boring old Canadian politician.
that's pretty funny.
Yep, I think we need some rules written down. A new set of rules.
Yeah.
That are like easy with like tiers, you know, like just like murder has degrees. Like
There's all sort. I mean, there's laws anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there could be rules. There probably are rules being written at every university in every corporation on how to behave. But that's you're probably either like on the right side of the line or the wrong side. There's probably not tiers so much.
I can imagine like God, it takes some balls to like continue hitting on a woman after you. See, I think I deem myself as a person that can read body language pretty well, and I know when someone's not interested in what I'm saying or what I got going on.
Puffing up.
And yeah, I don't know. I couldn't imagine doing it.
I mean, I think a lot of people don't have that intuition, or like they're too self-centered, and that this is just like them coming out to a restaurant and we're just here to occupy their time. You know what I mean? I don't even work at a bar. Like, I couldn't imagine working in a bar setting because I feel like it would just be amplified, and
yeah.
that's just not something I'm...
Guys, yeah, I'm not even gonna, like...
I can't do
drunk
it.
guys.
No,
But-
yeah, drunk guys. They're crazy.
It's like something that can't be... I mean, you can talk about changing behavior all you want. It's just a hard thing to... Like, even National Geographic talks about it. When, like, a young elephant is going through that... when he's rutting, you know?
It's like going like through puberty or something.
Well, they're really, really horny, and it makes them act super crazy. Like, you can't, like, you can tell that they're rutting too because they secrete something behind their ears. And like, if you go on a safari, they will like, oh no, we can't go near that one. They're like, why? Well, he's horny as hell.
I wonder if
And
that
he will
secretion...
chase us, and he will fuck us. Our whole car. Elephant dick to the back of the head. Okay, dick of the week, elephant dick. Let's Google that.
Really big.
Really big. Google elephant dick.
And very wrinkly.
Before you lock it
Alpha elephant dick.
in, I want to say it's massive. It's purple. I want to say it's purple. Or
It's
it's
gray.
bright pink.
It's gray or black.
It's gray.
It's like black,
Is it-
blackish, grayish, magenta.
Yeah, like. Ooh,
Is it pointy? Is it pointy, or
Chris
does it
doesn't
have
know.
a head?
Chris doesn't know what
Oh my
magenta
God!
is.
It is all. It's purple.
Holy smokes.
It's purple, pink, and black, and it does have a head.
We're all right. It's huge
It's
as well.
so big.
Wow.
So this is what we do on the show.
Yeah, this has got to be
that's
our
something.
6th or 7th
Well,
dick.
don't they say that
An elephant's
walrus
dick never
or
forgets.
manatee has the biggest dick to body ratio?
Oh my God!
I feel like I heard something about walrus penis.
Look at, they're having slave sex.
Oh my.
Why do you call it that?
Because there's chains.
Oh, man. That's not right.
Oh my God!
I'm surprised that it was so easy to just search for.
I know.
Yeah.
Got money in the house again.
Look at.
All right, well, that's the end of the hashtag Me Too report.
Can we skip the porno clip stuff just because we've got a lot to get to?
I was gonna say, we
Is
take.
that like a severed off one?
Oh my God.
I don't want it.
Bodybuilding.com. Someone's eating it for the protein.
Some dude in underwear with like, is that?
I think it's an elephant.
Yeah, I'm wearing those right now.
All right, let's take a little break real quick.
Oh my God.
What do you think that is?
You down for that?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. Scenes.
Sex scenes that are just orgies.
Yeah.
Orgies.
Pretty much.
Orgies.
Well, they have stuff over their underwear.
Where they have what?
They have things over their underwear. So if you're going down, there's like a piece of cardboard that covers her crotch, and you're like,
I've never seen that before.
Weird.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yep.
Sounds Japanese.
And one of the things he's accused of is sliding that to the side. Let me slide that to the side.
All right, so we're recording.
Oh, hey.
We're back.
So did they get the slide to the side?
They got the slide. They got the full slide.
We're recording on the cameras too? That's awesome. I didn't even know what was
so.
going on.
Candid camera.
Hey. So we got this. I'm gonna take a dab before we start.
All right, you do your thing. Today is get high and do a podcast day, so that's what I've been doing.
All right, yeah. Let's go. Tim, hit that Stormy Daniels cashing in on Trump, and I'm gonna fucking dab. And by the way, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit because I don't know how to dab, and I'm gonna cough, and I'm not even gonna use this fucking thing right. I didn't even buy this for myself. It's for my guests. So you can eat shit if you have any criticism. I'll give you my address. We can meet up, and I'll fucking throw down with you.
Idiocracy now at startmail.com.
Send us an email.
Leave a negative comment
about how Chris dabs. Wrong.
Tweet at us at Idiocracy now at Idiocracy now. 1.
All right, here's this clip.
Allegedly.
Alleged clip.
Stormy Daniels brings her Making America Horny Again tour to the Trophy Club for a one-night performance this Saturday.
Cashing in on controversy.
On the heels of Stormy's national publicized alleged affair.
That affair, according to the Wall Street Journal, between adult film star Stormy Daniels and the now President of the United States reportedly happened back in 2006 after the two met at a golf tournament. Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, and the White House have denied the relationship, but that's not stopping this club from promoting it.
This is the Twitter storm sensation.
And on Friday, In Touch magazine published the full transcript of a 2011 interview with Daniels in which she eagerly dishes on the tawdry details of her alleged sexual encounter with Donald Trump. According to the Associated Press, the tabloid never published it because Donald Trump's personal lawyer threatened to sue. Neither Trump nor his lawyer, Michael Cohen, have responded to CNN's request for comment. Now, journalists at several news outlets say just a few weeks before the 2016 election, Daniels told them she wanted to talk about her relationship with Trump, and then suddenly she didn't. The Wall Street Journal also reports that's around the time Cohen formed a shell company to pay the porn star $130,000 in exchange for her silence. CNN has obtained documents that show Cohen did set up at least 2 corporations in Delaware around that time, including one on September 30th, 2016 called Resolution Consultants, LLC. Those records show he dissolved it on October 17th. That same day, he incorporated Essential Consultants, LLC. And that's the company the Journal says Cohen used to pay Daniels hush money through a series of fake names and legal contracts. The White House avoiding answering questions about it Friday night on CNN.
Look, these matters were asked about and answered pretty extensively during the campaign, and I certainly don't have anything to add.
Well, there was a denial of the affair, but there's never been any reporting about her being paid by the president.
Sure, and you can contact the individuals who are involved with that.
CNN has not been able to independently contact Daniels, but in a statement attributed to her, she calls the Wall Street Journal article absolutely false and denies not only the affair, but ever receiving hush money from Donald Trump. That statement, however, was provided by Trump attorney Michael Cohen. Yeah, and that statement may be a denial, but look.
So,
did it or did it not happen? That's
I wonder how much his lawyer gets paid.
He gets paid like a percentage, I think.
Trump's lawyer?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna guess it's like $1,500 an hour. Just throwing it out there as a rough estimate.
It just seems like CNN's desperate for a story.
This did come out earlier, didn't it? Or am I wrong? They're just kind of coming back to it again.
No, this is the first time that this came out. The whole paying off through the lawyer.
I think it's worth reporting on if it's actually not just totally bullshit.
Yeah, true. But what if the woman is
full of shit,
utterly and unequivocally denying it?
Oh, I saw that too. If she like kind of hinted at something and then reported.
She said, I would like to talk about my relationship, which is anything. I have a relationship with my mother.
Mm-hmm.
They might be just digging for. I'm gonna say something. Digging for straws. No, that's not.
Grasping for straws.
Yeah,
Grasping. It could be. I would bet that's the way it is. But what are you gonna do besides actually talk to her some more?
All right. Go to wood chips. fucking wood chips. Yeah, play it.
It's not easy to get a grip in the winter. Cities try to help by dumping sand and salt, but all that corrosive eats the pavement and isn't great for the environment. Now municipalities are trying out a decidedly low-tech solution.
This is totally biodegradable. I mean, it's something that basically, even if it ends up in the water or on the private lawns, I mean, this will disintegrate within the soil.
These wood chips may look like the cast-offs of a lumber truck, but they're a special road abrasive that's an eco-friendly alternative to salt. It can be scattered by a regular salt truck. How much wood could a salt truck chuck if a salt truck could chuck wood? Quite a lot. But because the pieces don't disintegrate, the city has to treat the streets much less often.
It's non-stop now. All cities call me because they want to try it. Everybody, the situation this time is the people want to come more green.
Prévost owns the exclusive Canadian license to make and sell the chips, which are coated with magnesium chloride. He got the idea on a trip to Switzerland, where the practice is common. Prévost just started making and selling them 2 months ago in this Joliet factory. Citizens in Rosemere seem pretty chipper about the new surface.
Yeah, I think it's great, and we like it so far.
The chips do cost more than conventional salt, but cover a larger area. Rosemere's mayor says they haven't done the cost analysis yet, but he says, knock on wood, they'll be able to spread the pilot project to more streets starting next winter. Simon Akineshny, CBC News, Rosemere.
All right, did you guys catch anything in there?
Just magnesium sulfate or sulfide.
Is a salt.
Yeah, it sounds like a salt. Sounds like
it is a salt. I looked it up.
Sure.
So, how is wood chips covered in salt an alternative for salt? And how is using wood green?
That's a good point. It's renewable.
Yeah, fuck.
Well, you have to ask, what does that magnesium sulfate do?
Well, I'll tell you what it does. It breaks down into the water and goes right into the rivers.
Probably, yeah. It's just they're adding a chemical to it. What the nice thing about it might be that it doesn't wash away as quickly.
No, that's one thing. As I presumed when I looked more into it, the chips fall flat, and they sort of like melt into the ice and stay on the top of the ice surface. So they don't melt the ice and take it away. They just add traction to the top of the ice.
Okay, like throwing gravel or sand on some ice or something.
Mm-hmm.
What's kind of funny is it's kind of like reversing your asphalt. You're like, hey, let's throw a bunch of organic matter on top of this stuff we just covered up a whole bunch of organic matter with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, eventually those wood chips are gonna become like dust and dirt and.
Yeah, well, and then you're gonna have to, just like you have to edge your sidewalks, you're gonna have to edge the road like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right?
Because that'd be a lot of wood chips over a whole winter. It'd be like a pile of shit.
Everybody wants these. It's like right now we're only using wood chips from like, you know, leftover from wood mills and stuff like that. But what happens when you get a demand? You're just gonna stop you. Oh, there's no more stuff. I will not sell you anything. You're gonna start buying trees.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you guys. And then I think that was.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Company. I hate them. I hate them because this is sort of my job, and I look for clips, and then I read the comments in the bottom. Their comments are always disabled. The comments of this video were not disabled, and they just lambasted. Lambasted?
I'm not sure that's a word.
Sure.
Well, it is. Look, Google it up. It's worth a Google.
Could we Google lambasted?
Lambasted.
I'm feeling lambasted.
Basted. Yo, give me my phone. I'll do it. Timmy.
Oh.
Motherfucker.
That's because he didn't call him Jamie. He didn't know what was going on.
So, yeah. Lambasted. And so it's funny to read those comments. I don't know how I'm on an Alan Watt. Lambaste, criticize harshly. God, I'm fucking good. They lambasted the report as a gross distortion of the truth. Yep.
You sure it's not lambasted?
Lambasted.
Lambaste.
Ooh, lambaste.
Ooh, God.
It's like a slap in the face.
Yep, you just got lambasted, man. So what's next? Inside Amazon's till-free grocery store. Yeah, so basically, fuck the CBC, fuck the YouTube channel, and fuck that guy for calling wood chips covered in saltless green alternative. You know,
sure.
There's got to be something else. You put down dirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do up north.
Putting down like the precursor to dirt.
Well, in fact, up north, they mix their salt with dirt, so it goes longer.
They're salting the land.
Yeah.
That battery probably died on that.
All right, so here's inside Amazon's till-free grocery store, and it's the mark of the beast for sure.
I walked out with these two things in a matter of 30 seconds. It's really nice. It skips a lot of time and everything.
Amazon just opened its first grocery store in Seattle. Something is missing. Customer service. The store has built... Fuck. The store has no tills and uses cameras and sensors to track your movements.
Walk out without talking to anybody.
How does it work? It doesn't. You scan your QR code on the phone as you enter the store. Take your items off the shelves as they watch you. Walk out as they watch you. Amazon charges you for the items and sends you a receipt.
The real
sometimes
test
for
will
things
be
you
whether
didn't put in your
people are
cart.
comfortable with the kind of tracking that it's doing.
It will be kind of a bummer to have less human interaction, although it seems like maybe there's still a place where you can get a sandwich made or something, so you're still interacting with some people.
Progress, it's innovation, it's efficiency. What's there not to like?
Yeah, put one of those in a bad neighborhood, I dare you.
Not anytime soon. No, I'll have that figured out.
Yeah. Come on, Amazon.
Build the next one in Detroit.
Yeah, build the next one in Detroit.
I thought
where the bulletproof glass needs bulletproof glass. And, speaking of that, they're lobbying Philadelphia to make bulletproof glass illegal in convenience stores, and all the Asians are like, "Fuck that!" They're like, you know how many times that we've had to kill people? Like, shit's bulletproof glass. Like, in some places in Lansing, like,
I could see the need for it or the want for it.
Right.
That's nuts. Yeah. Be like, well, I guess we're just gonna get robbed.
Now,
more.
you guys tell
awesome.
me, play the devil's advocate. Why would they want to get rid of the bulletproof glass in the bad neighborhoods?
Because I don't like going to places with bulletproof glass. You know.
Well, some people argue it's racist to have bulletproof
glass. Yeah, because in bad neighborhoods, because just because they're black. No,
it's obviously based upon crime rate in the area.
Yeah, crime rate in the area. The poverty level in the area. People are willing to fucking get that money. In fact, that's even a phrase in those communities. Get that money.
Hey, at least at the Amazon store, there won't be anybody there to be robbed. It'll just be like, take all this shit and there's nobody there. Like,
there's going to be a bunch of butt-naked Asians if they take away the bulletproof glass. Because those dudes are going to pull out their pistols and be like, get naked. That's what they do there. Tell me, am I the only one that's seen hood movies?
I haven't seen very many hood movies, sorry.
Get naked, motherfucker, get naked. Get down or lay down.
Listen to Ice Cube.
Ice Cube is great.
It was okay.
No Vaseline, bitch. Yeah, so what's next?
Well, I think that store's kind of like a very large vending machine, like a really complicated large vending machine. But
yeah, I got it, Tim. We just get out of here.
Is there another clip on this, or do you want me to?
No, I mean the other one's kind of boring.
Kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed they were all the same. I was looking for interesting things. What they don't have is nobody knows exactly how they're doing it with their technology. They just vaguely describe that there's no RFID systems, which means there's no radio frequency devices in the products but that they just are using the cameras a lot, and a whole shitload of cameras. There's like hundreds and hundreds of cameras with like a matte finish, so it doesn't look like a camera hardly. And but they're everywhere, and then they talk about their machine learning algorithms a lot and say that they've polished it over the year, but they don't. It's kind of a secret, and I like to think maybe it's like Wizard of Oz. Maybe it's just a bunch of dudes like watching the cameras and being like, that dude just picked up a coffee. All right, okay, that guy's got a burrito.
No, if you look, there
cheaper,
was dots. There was dots like on top of the on the packages, like, you know, and in a specific. So when they pull it out like this, but what if you?
I don't know.
You know, there's so many.
Someone's gonna find a loophole, and like they're gonna do
I'm
it.
just saying, they're not
just to show it.
They're never gonna put one in Detroit. Can't do it.
Never say never.
Yeah, it'll never happen. First of all, how many?
It'll be butt fuckers go.
Yeah, I'm not even getting into it.
Well, they must have like a guy standing by the door or something.
Yeah, there's people there.
Yeah, they make sandwiches. So if you want some people interaction, you got to make a sandwich. Or just
there were people standing like.
Who stocks the shelves? They probably just. I don't think it's really a store of the future. Look at. Did you see how much plastic was in there? Is that really a store
right.
of
There
the
was
future?
a ton of micro packaging.
Everything was micro packaged in a plastic container wrapped in plastic with paper on it.
Let me ask you though.
That's very futuristic.
If you were cattle, if you were like just a cow wandering around, would you want a cashier or would you want an automatic pay system?
If I was a what? A cow?
A cow. Like a piece of cattle. Some meat. You're like grazing around and you're like, it's kind of like being a slave.
Okay.
But even worse.
Yo, break this down for me. You're blowing my mind. I don't know if it was that dab.
Okay, I'm just saying.
If I'm a cow, it's like if you're a cow, would you like to space travel?
Right. So you're Jeff Bezos and you think of people as cattle. So you're like trying to like, you know, get everybody kind of put together in their like little herd thing.
Yeah.
I was just saying as a kind of a joke, if you were a cow, what would be better? Like a place where you have to pay with like a wallet and like use your thumbs that you don't have, or would you just prefer a place you walk in and grab your food and leave? And I think they would prefer the Amazon Go. Or humans might like to go to the regular store. Just high thoughts.
I avoid cash
Don't worry.
now. I go through the U-scan.
Yeah, I usually go through the U-scan.
I like to go to the cashier and bitch about the U-scan. I'm like, you guys need to get it together. Pretty soon, your days are numbered. There's going to be another U-scan, then another U-scan, then a no you.
Taylor, have you gone through border security where they have you like look and do an iris scan to get in the country?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of weird. They had like all these kiosks and they're like, you don't need to like talk to anybody. Just go step into this thing and show us your eyeballs. And,
that seems sketchy.
And then
That's crazy.
And then, so I went to the person. I was like, I'm not doing that. They're like, why not? And I was like, dude, you can't trust this. Robots are going to take your job. I'm here to save your job.
And then they're like, get butt naked.
But still, he wanted me to do the robot thing.
The robot? They wanted you to do the robot to get in the country?
It's like a kiosk that, you talk to.
What country?
Welcome to Mexico.
America.
Now, in order to get into the
Here?
country, do the Macarena.
Really?
I think, I'm pretty sure it was this. Yeah, to get back into the United States, they had these kiosks that you had to. You just went to a kiosk and you scanned your eyeballs.
Right.
I feel like I can copy your eyeball scan, like have it on file. And then
Really, they just take a picture and then.
What if somebody stole your eyes? You know what I'm saying?
Then, yeah, you got problems.
Yeah.
All right, what's next on our list of things to tackle
We're on to
here?
your stuff, man.
All right. So we're gonna go deep, I think.
I will not dance for you.
Chippendales.
Chip. You call me Chip.
So Bill Gates he has a plan to make a city in Arizona. He bought a ton of land, and I think a lot of it's gonna look like this Amazon Go store, this kind of style of technology and using it. And so he just bought a whole bunch of land here, and that's what this clip is about.
I'd feel extra uncomfortable there. It just sounds like I'd feel uncomfortable there.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably really hot.
Bill Gates has purchased an enormous amount of desolate land in Arizona to construct a smart city. The 25,000 acres of land is roughly 45 minutes away from Phoenix, Arizona, and will now be known as Belmont, named after Gates' partner in the purchase. The currently desolate 25,000 acres will eventually hold 80,000 homes, 3,800 acres of industrial, office, and real estate space, 3,400 acres of open space, and 470 acres for public schools, according to Arizona-based Belmont Partners. However, after construction, Belmont will not just be your typical gated community. Instead, their goal is to develop a smart city. Belmont will create a forward-thinking community with a communication and infrastructure spine that embraces cutting-edge technology, designed around high-speed digital networks, data centers, new manufacturing technologies, and distribution models, autonomous vehicles, and autonomous logistic hubs, Belmont Partners said in a news release. A similar project is currently underway by Google called Quayside, due north in Toronto, Canada. Alphabet's objective for Quayside is to develop a complete urban community from the ground up. Both Quayside and Belmont, with their respective populations, are ground zero for testing new technology, as admitted by the corporations involved in development. Quayside plans to extend outwards, while Gates has yet to release the official plan for construction. It's a safe bet that this is the start of the infamous smart cities of the future. Take a second and think about the last time your computer crashed. And now imagine that was the infrastructure of a block in a smart city. Or take, for example, how Equifax, one of the largest credit bureaus, was just recently hacked. Now imagine if that was an autonomous vehicle. Development for both Quayside and Belmont are years away. However, Microsoft is not done yet. Rather, Microsoft billionaire Paul Allen, through his corporation Vulcan Inc., donated $10 million for the development of yet another city, Columbus, Ohio. In addition, the U.S. Department of Transportation...
So yeah, there's 3 smart cities kind of in the works right now. One in Arizona here for Bill Gates is developing eventually, and then there's the Google one in Canada, and then there's supposedly one in Columbus, Ohio, where they're just going to use the latest technology to interconnect everything. So you have all sorts of apps for parking, and the one in Ohio I looked into, and it seems just kind of like a waste of money, and it wasn't that much money. It was like the initial $10 million, and then it ended up being like $100 million or something like that. And a lot of it was like just weird apps for parking, or like better ways to get pregnant mothers to the hospital using the latest computer technology, and they're spending millions and millions of dollars on it. And I think we'll see more of this in the future, as far as having all these little plots of, like, you'll have like little Bezo land over here, maybe you'll have, hopefully, like, I don't know, just like these Silicon Valley compounds almost.
Ooh, like they'll have their own county.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he builds it in the middle of the desert where there's nothing else around.
Wow, that's crazy.
Anyway, the next clip is of part of the Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, was where this money has gone. It's these self-driving taxis that go around the city under like a testing plan. And here's a cab driver that's following one.
Look at this. Look at this guy.
What is that?
That's the new. I can't believe that guy did that. He just ran that red light. That's that new little service that they're
First of all, he turned right on red.
Columbus gets $50 million in grant money.
Oh, right.
And these 2 guys came out with this supposed.
And that's what's getting
it's
the money.
It's supposed to be self-driving, but obviously the guy.
It's like a wide golf cart, extra long.
If it was self-driving, it would have stopped.
Right.
So they're overriding. The only reason they even got it put in was because it was self-driving. So these guys are overriding that and zooming around, giving people free rides, which undercuts everybody.
So he's complaining because he's a taxi driver, and this is government funded, and it's not even self-driving. So they're like, why do you even pay for it?
And they're testing it, supposedly testing it. And after seeing that, I'm like, you know what? I could caught that on camera.
But we could turn this off whenever. That was basically it. Just this guy was talking about.
What happens when these fucking cars start getting hacked?
I think it's totally possible. I don't think people have bothered yet, but if they're everywhere, it might happen. some more.
Just waiting for ISIS to get some tech guys. Like Techie Tim.
I just think it's...
Somebody's hacked Teslas already.
Really? Somebody's hacked Jeeps before, too. On the freeway. There's a video about it. We should have that in the show.
Those hackathons are neat, where people like come as like hackers to see who can hack into certain things, and like even like toasters or microwave ovens, and get them to turn on from remote locations. Chris is typing in a brand new video.
This is hackers take over steering from a smart car driver.
From iPhones to websites to cars, Charlie Miller of Ladue makes it his business to hack the computers that drive modern life.
Hey, hold on tight. Hold on. Oh.
Tuesday, he made a lot of commuters uncomfortable.
I can't see anything because...
In this video report posted on Wired.com, Miller and his business partner showed how they can exploit the internet-connected infotainment system of a 2014 Jeep Cherokee to take control of the SUV.
So I'm gonna get on the road, so don't kill the engine or the brakes or anything like that. Just do like the simple stuff.
With his partner hacking in from another city, Miller showed us how their hack can range from pranks to the potentially dangerous ability to cut power to the brakes, even taking the wheel.
I give that A+.
Miller plans to share part of his hack next month at a hacker convention, forcing automakers to take security issues seriously. He's already worked with Chrysler on a fix for the Jeep, but he says there are potentially hundreds of thousands of unsecured cars on the road.
It doesn't matter if you use your navigation or you pay extra for the Wi-Fi. You're vulnerable if you have one of these vulnerable cars.
Chrysler says it has a team focused on identifying and implementing software best practices. Miller says as cars come with more features, drivers will need more protection.
It's definitely something I'm worried about.
I like how they finished that. I'm worried.
I'm definitely
be scared.
worried.
Yeah, definitely. Fear. Speaking of fear. Fear that I'm way high now.
I've got the fear. I've got a little bit of the fear.
Who's here? Where are we at, by the way? The studio? We're still at the studio?
I think so, yeah.
Where can we go?
I wanted to go to a nice quiet office somewhere in a cubicle.
Let's do it.
And pretend I work there.
You snap your fingers this time.
All right.
Should we be quiet?
I think we'll be okay, yeah. I don't think anyone will notice.
I'm going to type quietly. So what's next on the agenda? I think we have the dolphins.
Oh, man.
And they're taking acid. They're on another frequency.
Yep. There is... All right. So a long time...
You know dolphins are gay?
Not according to this story.
So, see my bottlenose?
A friend and I used to go to the MSU library when we were tripping, and we would go read studies that that people did on acid.
You guys are gay.
And
sorry.
Like multiple times. So just like go like read.
You want to drop acid and hit the library, bro? Fuck yeah, bro. Let's fucking hit that library so hard, dude. That library is not gonna know what happened.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, I'd be like, well,
That's
it's
cool.
Tuesday. And one of my favorites is this one where these people injected LSD into a dolphin, a troubled dolphin, and
The troubled dolphin.
and they just hung out with it.
He's from a one-parent home.
And so the result was like this dolphin would never approach people because it had been mauled and it was traumatized for some reason. And then they dosed it, and then this guy got in the pool with him, and the dolphin like came up to him and like just stared at him for 10 minutes without moving, sort of. That's a short description of that study. But before that study, there was a lady that lived with these dolphins full time, and she was trying to get them to speak English. And some of those dolphins ended up being part of the LSD studies. Same dolphins that worked on the movie Flipper, which I thought was interesting.
Really?
Yeah. And
dude,
some of them anyway.
I watched that movie a lot.
We have a clip of the one lady that lived with these dolphins before they became subjects in an LSD study. She was trying to get them to speak English.
This one?
Yep.
Something else was affecting her work with Peter.
Yeah. They have sexual urges. I'm sure Peter had plenty of thoughts along those lines.
I wanted it to be show appropriate.
She looks like a dolphin.
With me. He would rub himself on my
That
knee
bitch
or my
looked like a
foot or
dolphin.
my hand or whatever, and I allowed that. I wasn't uncomfortable with that, as long as it wasn't too rough.
Peter had caused Margaret some minor injuries on her legs and stuff of pushing like an obsessed suitor.
In the beginning, when he would get rambunctious and have this need, I would put him on the elevator and say, you go play with the girls for a day.
So that was nice. She let him go like hang out with some chicks and stuff.
But as Peter's urges grew more frequent, the process of transporting him down to the 2 female dolphins to satisfy him proved disruptive.
This music's a little disturbing.
And Margaret felt the best way of focusing his mind back on the lessons was to relieve his desires herself manually.
It was just easier to incorporate that and let it happen. It was very
So it's the BBC.
precious. It was very gentle. Peter was right there. He knew that I was right there. Again, it was sexual on his part. It was not sexual on mine. Sensuous, perhaps.
Yo, that bitch looks like a dolphin. I think she might have been.
Like an itch.
Something
Just get rid
happened.
of that. We'll scratch it and we'll be done. Move on.
Yo, something.
And that's really all it was. I was there to get to know Peter. That was part of Peter.
It was great that she wasn't going to be damaged by that, but as a veterinarian,
He's
I
like,
wondered
don't
about
touch
poor
me with
Peter.
those hands.
This dolphin was madly in love with her.
Yeah, she was jerking him
Probably
off.
stop it there.
Margaret and Peter's relationship was continuing to deepen.
So that was kind of a side story to the story, but that dolphin eventually got to do some acid.
Wow.
I think it was that dolphin.
That
Or all of
dolphin.
its buddies.
He had a good life.
It was just a really strange story.
Dolphins can recognize themselves in the mirror. Oh, there's your little video I found. Right after this stupid thing.
I'd like to know how they know they recognize themselves. How do we know? So it's like a dolphin just like bobbing his head around in front of a mirror.
Well, he's like moving his head so he can see himself, and then he's looking at his body, and he'll like wait. He'll flip his flippers. There's another one on here where they straight up like flex. Like
There's also one of my other favorite LSD studies that's ever been done was a guy who tried to telepathically control ants as one of his like studies for college.
Really?
Wow.
He just dropped a bunch of acid and had a colony of ants and tried to direct them.
Like the Men Who Stare at Goats.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great movie.
Shit was real, man. People were actually doing that stuff.
All right, so me and Tim were sitting down doing some Twitter stuff yesterday, and we came across this clip called "The Heart Attack Grill," and we thought that was just like the name of the report, but we found out that it's the actual name of a restaurant. And if you're over 350 pounds, they give you a free meal. You eat there free. And everything is extra grease, extra meat, extra cheese, just extra stuff. And they have an ambulance parked outside. It's fake.
Oh my God. Was it in Vegas?
I'm not sure where it's at.
I think I've heard of it too.
And Timmy was watching it, and he started bitching about it. And I was like, yeah, he made some great points, so we'll make those in a second.
The restaurant has become a bit of a national sensation.
I'm up another few inches.
In no small part thanks to this very big man, Blair River, the so-called spokesmodel of the Heart Attack Grill, featured in a series of tongue-in-cheek commercials that have gone viral.
I'm at 570 pounds, 6'8", yeah, so.
We met Blair in January. Back then, he told us one of the perks of the job is eating free. Anyone who is over 350 pounds doesn't have to pay.
Was that his girlfriend or the waitress?
You know what I mean? And so why not?
Lord,
I don't hear
don't
everything,
judge him.
So why not have fun with it and go with it as long as I can?
Sadly, we now know how long that was. Blair died last week at the age of 29. His family says the cause of death was pneumonia. The CDC says every
Just like
year,
Ralphie.
112,000 deaths can be linked to obesity. When your spokesperson drops dead at the age of 29, and he's morbidly obese by anybody's estimation, don't you have a problem?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't?
John Basso owns the Heart
He
Attack
don't give a
Grill.
fuck.
As part of the act, he dresses up like a doctor.
Every single person cared about Blair. Had he have been thinner, he most probably would have survived that pneumonia. And that's a hard fact that I'm not here to deny.
There's an argument to be made that you used this guy during his life, and that now you are very morbidly using his death to continue to promote your restaurant.
I absolutely agree. And in a very sick way, his death has gotten the message out further.
So this man's death has not given you pause at all.
Yeah.
Zero pause.
For a man who is making an awful lot of money serving up artery-clogging burgers, Basso has a most unusual justification, that America needs shock therapy to cure its obesity epidemic. He says he tried other messages. He once owned a chain of Jenny Craig weight loss centers and several personal training studios.
And that's when Tim said, "This motherfucker hates fat people, and he's trying to kill him."
That's crazy.
No, I think this other guy's job is that dude on Breaking Bad. I think I've seen this guy.
This guy right here?
Yeah. He's the restaurant owner that's just like, this is not my real job. I'm way too hardcore.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's strange.
You trying to profit off of this fat man's death? He goes, "I absolutely am."
You are absolutely right.
You want a burger?
If you're a big fatty, you get a free one.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, and if
That
you're
could be.
and if you're over 350 pounds, like you're almost there. Like you're almost dead. You're like, fuck it, feed him. I don't care if he doesn't have money. Just give him free food until the fat fucker dies.
Did you skip the part where they showed the menu?
No.
I hope that every
I think it
single
was in the
person
beginning.
out there comes in and buys a hamburger and a T-shirt from.
It was in the beginning, and in the menu it had like packs of cigarettes, and like their burger is called the triple bypass burger.
That dude kind of looks like a psychopath right now.
He's a fucking psycho.
In his lab coat, like. Why is he wearing a lab coat?
Because he plays the part
Yeah,
of a
he's
doctor.
a doctor.
When you
And
go
the waitresses
and
are nurses.
Pencil. The Jefferson County.
As if I have enough to edit already, or if I don't. I do now.
What else? Nothing.
Lambasted. I'm feeling lambwasted.
We're good, I think. Where are we at right now?
Where do you want to go is the more important question.
Yeah, what's going to be the topic? So what's going on Friday? There's a protest somewhere?
I'm not going to go to that. It's sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
It's the protest to they want the Michigan State University's president to resign. Is that what they want her to, or they don't want her to?
No, they do.
Okay.
What, and who is she?
She had negligence in the Jerry Nassar case.
Oh.
Because I think her and like 13 or 14 other faculty administrative members like knew about it, or gym members or whatever, and they all didn't come forward, so everybody's calling for them to be held responsible.
I mean, yeah, it might spill over into other stuff, you know, like one. I don't know. It's probably pretty specific protest.
It might be interesting. I don't know. I guess I'll think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What's in the news? What's going on? Oh, two people, two school shootings. One in Texas, one in Kentucky.
I heard about the Kentucky one.
Both young white kids. Males. fucking enough.
I don't know anything about them.
Neither do I. Not enough to speak on them.
Happens from time to time.
All right. Well, this has been Idiocracy now. Taylor Owens, Mr. Carter.
Thank you for coming
Tammy,
on.
Yeah, thank you.
Me. Don't be afraid to donate.
Just
or
do that, but in reverse towards us. That would be great.
yeah. Aww. Story of my life.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out.
You want to drop acid and hit the library, bro? Fuck yeah, bro. Let's fucking hit that library so hard. Dude, that library's not going to know what happened.